Hello, hello, Alice.
Hi, Fabi.
Hi, it's a
I'm so
pleasure.
fine.
It's
Yeah.
a pleasure to have you. Alice is a mom and an advocate, and she lives in Kenya. And today we'll discuss autism in Kenya. But before that, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Alice.
Thank you, Fabi. My name is Alice Mundia. I'm the chairperson of Differently Talented Society of Kenya. I'm also a parent of a 16-year-old son on the autism spectrum, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Alice, can you tell us a little bit about your child diagnosis? At what age, and how was your reaction when you learned about it?
Definitely for most parents and for all of us, it's very difficult to have an autism diagnosis of your own child. And I remember there was a bit of telltale signs just before we went ahead for the diagnosis. And I remember my son came down with tonsillitis and adenoids during that period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And the ENT then, after a bit of discussion, decided that the first thing we needed to deal with was the tonsils and adenoids. So the next thing now, after my son had been treated for the tonsils and tonsils and adenoids, it means that he had to undergo surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So he was sent for surgery, and it was a difficult time for us. And immediately after surgery, I remember him coming down with hyperactivity. And my son was about now going towards 3 years, 3.5 years. And I remember it was a difficult time for us. And when we discussed with the doctor was of the opinion that we needed to go and get my son evaluated, because he had lost even the initial speech that he had. He had basic words at 2 years or 2.5 years that he lost just before the surgery was done.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to go, and he had to go for surgery, and then at the same time, immediately after that, now the doctor referred us to the national hospital, to the referral hospital close by, for him to get some assessments. And I remember we had to take him to the ENT department of the hospital. And after assessment, that is when they now told us that my son was developing mild autistic behavior. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Sorry for that. There's a bit of interruption from the backside. Yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's fine. That's okay. That's
Yes, yes.
okay. Yeah. Oh, that's it's good to know, like, your journey from, and that was at what age?
We're talking about 3.5 years. The diagnosis was basically around 3.5 years. Yes.
Okay, 3.5
Yes.
years. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And how is the cultural acceptance in Kenya? How did your family, your friends react to the diagnosis? What are the challenges there?
In the initial stages, immediately, of course, when you tell your family that your son now has been diagnosed with autism, everything comes as a shocker. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it meets you, and it's not something that you just accept right away. It's like something that you need. It's something that you need a process even to just absorb. So I remember telling my family members, and everybody was like, it was something temporary, everything was going to change, and we needed to pray about it. And of course, it has been a continuous journey, and my family being very supportive. But in the initial stages, everybody was in denial. Nobody wanted to really accept
Mm-hmm.
that it was a serious diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was difficult, including my own friends. Most of the people would look at my son and say, given that autism is a hidden disability, they would look at him and they would say, really? I don't think your son has any issues. Probably it's just delayed milestones. Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
okay. Wow. And usually, how is autism diagnosed in Kenya? Do you have psychologists there? Do you have neurologists? I mean, what kind of services do you guys have there to treat autism?
Um, yes, we have psychologists in the sub-district hospitals, but I would say autism diagnosis is a complex issue, given that not everyone is living very close to the city. There are people living in the suburbs and in the village, and where the hospitals are not so close by. But I would say it's difficult to get an autism diagnosis even in the country, because most of the doctors will have the opinion like they are delayed milestones, your son is going to achieve the milestones. But the services are there in the sub-district hospitals. We have services in the sub-district hospitals for autism diagnosis. In Kenyatta National Hospital, yes, we have psychologists, but it's not the first point of contact. I would say that before you get to see a psychologist, it's a process, and most of the times probably somebody will have seen a pediatrician, somebody will have seen an ENT specialist, somebody will have seen other doctors along the way before they can even get that autism diagnosis. When it comes to probably educational assessment, we have EACs, we have the educational resource centers, assessment centers that are cut across the whole country. We also have the Kenya Institute of Special Education that also does assessments in terms of education. Yes.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
basically, that is the overview of
Of what?
autism diagnosis and assessment. Yes.
Okay,
Yes, in the country. Yes,
that's
yes.
good. Okay, and so therapies have you tried with your son? What worked with you, and what do you have as a recommendation for parents out there?
Okay. I would say probably currently I'm the chair of the Differentiated Talented Society of Kenya, but in the initial stages when my son was diagnosed, I remember joining an organization called Autism Awareness Kenya. Autism Awareness Kenya was a group that was formed by professionals in special needs. So I would count myself lucky to have had that opportunity to be in the volunteer board of Autism Awareness Kenya, because within this organization, they were the first people I got in touch with. People like Trixie Pujo, people like Puja Panessa, who is a BCBA, people like John Onala, who is a special educational professional. So I would say that during the early years, I would sit with professionals, and at least I had points of contact, people that I could call closely and discuss with them on issues relating to my son without having to pay anything. So I would say it was an opportunity for me, as I also volunteered to help parents. It gave me an opportunity also to get in touch with professionals, and also to have a close contact, and to be able to learn more on issues autism and how to assist my son. But I would say from my own point of view that teaching my son was basically most of those things, especially things like activities of daily living, self-help skills, are things we had to learn at home, in the home setup, from toilet training to brushing your teeth to dressing, and the key challenges and the key activities of daily living that every child needs to be taught. Yes.
Okay, awesome. And what have you learned from your autism journey, the good, the bad, and what advice do you have for parents out there? And go ahead, Alice.
Immediately when my son was diagnosed, I remember the first thing I was told is autism is a lifelong condition. It's not something that is going to just go away just like that. But I've also learned over time that with attention, when you teach your child, when you concentrate and give your time to also teaching your son, there are a lot of many milestones that your child will achieve what I've also realized is over time is you also need to take care of yourself also as a parent. You cannot be able to take care of your child if you are not well. So basically, I would advise parents that the first thing you'd ask yourself is, am I well? Am I calm enough to be able to teach my child? Because if you're not well, it's very difficult for you to actually take care of your child. I also recognize that you need to look out for all scientifically proven interventions, because what happens is there's so many interventions that you come across, cocktails of interventions, new things that parents are discussing about. And remember, this is a journey between you and your son. And remember, you are the first point of contact. You need to make decisions on behalf of your child. So you need to make those choices that are favorable. At all times, you need to ask yourself, what is good for your child? What is beneficial for your child? What is this that your child needs to learn? What is this milestone that you would want your child to achieve? And then work towards achieving it. Because what I've realized over time is parents get a burnout along the journey, because you're trying so many things at once. You want everything to happen in a day. Even for us, we are still learning new skills every day. So allow your child to learn. Give them time. Don't be in a hurry to achieve everything at once. Nothing is ever achieved at once. Even Rome was not built in a day. So it's a process. Just identify what are the key things that you need your child to learn, what are the key milestones that you need them to achieve, and things that are also age specific, because sometimes you want all these things to happen at once, but remember that your child is also at a specific age and at a specific point in time. So I would also encourage parents, do what you can. Use everyday opportunities, naturalistic environments to be able to teach your child, whether it's within the home setup. Every opportunity is an opportunity to train. And remember that especially when it comes to activities of daily living, you have so many opportunities from the time the child wakes up to the time the child sleeps to be able to teach various skills on and on, and it's a process. You build up on those skills as the child grows. So don't give up. Of course, autism is not the end of it. It's just a diagnosis. It's a different brain structure. But at the same time, remember that this child is a child and will definitely achieve milestones based on how much they're able to learn also from you. Yes.
Oh, that's a very good advice. And one last question. Your organization, can you tell us about it there if people want to reach out?
Yes. As I said earlier, I'm the chairperson of Differently Talented Society of Kenya. This organization, we call it DTSK, is a psychosocial support group of parents with children on the autism spectrum. It brings together about 400 parents in one forum. We organize workshops, we organize activities that are geared towards training our children. We reach out to professionals to come to us, and we organize workshops where parents can learn basic skills or basic things that they can be able to take home and train their children. We've been able to invite a lot of professionals across all areas, whether it's special education, whether it's ABA, whether it's on issues of diet, so it cuts across. We reach out to professionals, and we are happy and glad that professionals have been willing and to come even to give us sometimes even pro bono services. A lot of times it's pro bono services. We organize sports days where parents can come together with their children, interact together. We also have sharing groups, the WhatsApp groups. We have 3 WhatsApp platforms. Basically, not everyone in the WhatsApp platforms is our member, but we are okay with all parents joining, meaning that we are running 3 WhatsApp platforms with about 2 of them. 2 of them are completely full, and even the other one is partly full. So within the WhatsApp platforms, you could be bringing around 600 parents. We also have a Facebook page, and we interact, we provide information, up-to-date information. We discuss among ourselves, provide psychosocial support to each other, answer questions. We have professionals on board within the platforms who are able to respond to questions when parents ask questions within the page. And I would say that we are doing well. We are doing well in terms of ensuring that the parent is well and ready enough to take care of their children, and they have the skills and the information that they need to be able to support the child. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much, Alice, for your time today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. We are very, very honored to have you today. And we'll definitely reach out again if we have more questions for you. And
thank you,
then,
Fabi.
yeah,
And I'm so
thank you.
sorry there was a bit of interruption in the background.
Oh,
Remember,
no, that's okay. You
I'm
are
sitting
taking
at
time
home.
from your family. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much for your
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. We
yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
All
Fabi.
right.